welcome to part 5 of Project Uss Defiant and the finale. And it's finally completed. The lighting is done, the electrics are all soldered in, the painting is done, the decals are done, and the stand is finished. So before we move on with that, I'll just talk a little bit about how I did a decal, because they took me like 3 days to do them. So as I put the decals on, I literally, as I would put one on, I would literally cross off with a permanent marker, and I just went around the whole ship. Started off at the back and just went all the way forward. I did that on the top section here and also on the bottom section. There wasn't anything on the back or the front. There was a couple of decals on the one side and the other side, and that's literally how I did it. And I did it also, and I put them on with Microsoft Industries set, which makes the decal sit much better and also glues it to the plastic much better. And then I used the sol, which dissolves it and softens it and makes it adhere to the contours and the cracks and the lines within the model, and I'll show you that in a bit. So I was very pleased with that. But that's how I did it, guys. It's the only way I could think of doing it, because there was so many there and there's so many. It's a big decal sheet, but I was very pleased with how it turned out. So I'll show you now. So the decals are all in place, and I was very pleased with how it turned out. The registry, I was so happy putting the registry on. Once I put the decals on, I then gave it 4 coats of semi-gloss. Well, I did a combination of semi-gloss and flat gloss, because I wanted this a little bit of sheen, but I also wanted it to be flat. I don't think that the space station where it was built would want their ship shining in the night for everyone to see. But I wanted a little bit of a sheen on it, so that's what I got. And that was done with Mr. Colour, which is a fantastic product. And I put 4 coats in that. I put 2 coats on, gave it a bit of a sand, and then put another 2 coats on, and then gave it a final buffing, and I got an absolutely beautiful smooth finish. As you can see, the decals, they've adhered to the model really well. I'm very pleased with how they look. They look absolutely gorgeous, they really do. That was a long one, that took me a couple of hours to do. It's a big one as well. I had to put a lot of set on it to get all the air bubbles out of it, to get it to sit properly, and then use a lot of sol to get it to actually take up the contours of the model. But it did it in the end, and it looks absolutely lovely, it really does. As you can see, the other one is the big pieces like this. It is, I do believe, yes it is, right on the end, you can see it there. I just had to put about 3-4 dabs of sol on it, and it eventually adhered to that square shape, and it looks absolutely fabulous for it as well. So I was very pleased about that, and all the rest of them did as well. I was very pleased. These ones like this and this one here are really big pieces. Don't rush these. If you decide to put the decals on like I did, don't rush it. So what I did is I put one bit on, lined it up, got it straight, let it sit for a minute or two, then put another bit on, line it up, make sure it's straight, put some more sol on it, then just literally went around under the belly, and there's a little like crevice there where it eventually sits onto. Just take your time when you're doing it, guys. You know, it can be done. You just have to take your time. So don't try and put it on. Don't try and put something like that on in one go. It just won't go. Put it on bit by bit, and it'll be fine. And stuff like the registry as well. Refer to the photos. Refer to the instruction sheet, and make sure it's sitting where it should be, or how you want it to look. You know, the red lines as well, and of course on the sides. They really went on really well, and I was very pleased with how that went on. And you can see the quality of the decal there just shining through. I was so pleased with the qualities of the decals, and they went on really nice, and you can see them all underneath there as well. And of course the famous nose with the registry, so I was really pleased with that. This was a huge big piece as well. This took a couple of lifting up with an old paintbrush I had, so I put it down from the back and then just worked my way forward. And once I sealed up the model, I then put on these nose pieces and these big pieces here. So I was very pleased with the way the decals went on and how they look, and I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with the way this looks. Now we're on to the lights. Everybody wants to see the lights. There we go. There's the lights. So you can see here the warp cores on either side are lit up really well. I'm very pleased with that. There's very little to no light leak at all, guys. And there's the warp engines. And there's the impulse engines. I was very pleased with how that turned out. And that idea with the milk carton and the mesh on the warp engines worked out really well. And I was so pleased with it, I really was. And of course, the phasers. There's one side. I was really happy with how that turned out as well. The nose. And then the overall look of the model. And it looks absolutely fantastic. I'll just turn off the overhead light, guys, and you'll get the impression of what it looks like in the dark. There she is in the dark, and it's lit up really well. There's the nose again, and the one phaser, and the other phaser, and the warp cores, and of course the impulse engines and the warp engines. Really, really happy, really pleased with this model. It is an absolutely fantastic model. I really enjoyed doing it. A lot of work, but if you want the finished product in the way you want it, you've got to put the effort in. So a couple of thank yous. First of all, I want to say thank you to Jumbo Models for supplying me with this fantastic kit. I also want to say thank you to Round 2 and Polar Lights for issuing out this kit. Absolutely fantastic, gorgeous kit, so easy to put together, very highly detailed and with excellent decals. And of course, a big thank you to Mr. Colour for the wonderful lacquer paints that gives such a rich, gorgeous depth. And of course, thank you to everyone that has commented, shared, watched. I couldn't have done it without you. So until the next one, take care and have a nice weekend. Bye now.